Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cube channel. This is Yoda Killer, and yeah, we're just gonna go over a little review of the leaders that have just been revealed for Jump to Lightspeed. It is full steam ahead, and yeah, just super excited. Just a little bit of a disclaimer here is like, of course, these reviews are kind of just based on my cube design. I know everybody's going to have different opinions of what they see and how certain leaders and cards are going to be viable in their cube. So just take that into account. That I'll just be going over some of the reveal cards and then speaking about how that fits into my cube as it's currently constructed. So without further ado, let's go with our first leader that was revealed, and that is Grand Admiral Thrawn. He has a really neat effect that when you use a when defeated ability, you may exhaust this leader and do that ability again. That is a very powerful, powerful ability. When I saw this, I thought like the potential, as more cards are revealed and all the cards in the past that have when defeated is pretty busted. So definitely one that I am going to gladly put in my cube. On the flip side, he has good stats, 4-7, and then same thing. You can use that ability again, so the potential to be use this, twice in a turn, is pretty good. So I rate this at 4.5 out of 5. Great card, great design. Want to see more when played or when defeated abilities. So we'll see what comes out in the future. I will say that the next leader that I'm going to talk about was Asajj Ventress. Very interesting. This is the first force unit in these colors. Has an action ability, deal 1 damage to a friendly unit. If you do, deal 1 damage to an enemy unit in the same arena. So this is has a new ability, which is pilot. And when you deploy this leader, you have the option to either deploy it as a ground unit or deploy this on a friendly vehicle unit without a pilot on it, and it becomes a leader. So really neat ability to yeah, just make a unit be pretty powerful. And the flip side to that, of course, is that it has grit. And so you have like an ability to combo and just put this on a unit, put some damage on it, and swing. So I can kind of see this being somewhere in the cube. I'm not sure where exactly, because there's some leaders that kind of fits that spot, but I do want to see more units that have grit in this set, or something that you could um like combo off with this action ability. Rating this at 3.5 out of 5. These are a list of the current leaders that I have right now, and so how I see it is maybe replacing maybe Iden right now, or Krennic is on the short list. I think with the pilot abilities and the more pilots we see in villainy vigilance, then that's going to help Gar Saxon in the future. I think Kira's shields tokens is just super strong. Director Krennic is very good, and of course, feeds off of damage units. So the more damage units you have in a cube, the more also Asajj is going to be really relevant as well. So kind of seeing maybe Iden kind of taking a back seat, and of course Thrawn has to be in this cube too. So it's going to be kind of hard to cut one of these leaders, but it must happen. A couple of these leaders. So we'll see how that goes, and the other leader to be revealed. All right, let's look at Lando Calrissian. Has an action ability, play a unit from your hand, paying its cost. If you do, and you control a ground unit and a space unit, give a shield token to a unit. Right off the bat, very interesting ability. It's a rebel, so that's very important because there's a lot of rebels in Cube. And I've played with this card already in testing, and yeah, found it to be pretty cool to be able to put shields on units. Um, this is also the second leader out there that has Sentinel. So neat ability as well, and 5/5 is no joke as well too. For stats for a pilot. So all in all, though, 4 out of 5. I'm impressed by it. I'm excited to put it in cube. And yeah, just kind of see what more rebels they have in these colors. The next one's Rose. Rose has heal 2 damage from a vehicle unit that attacked this phase. Yeah, I'm not really impressed by her on attack. You may heal 2 damage. Obi-Wan already does this. I know it's 2 damage is a healing 2 damage is a lot, but like, Obi-Wan does this for any unit, whether it be space or ground. Um, so giving this a 2.5, 2 out of 5. Just, I'm not sure how much more resistance there'll be in this set. I know that's one of the major traits there, but just not impressed. When I see it compared to like the other leaders that I have in this aspect, I don't see Rose superseding any of these, but I do see room for Lando, whether it be replacing Obi Wan or even replacing Luke. Um, yeah, I think there's some space there, especially with the Rebel trait. Next up, we'll look at Admiral Piet. He has an action ability: play a capital ship unit from your hand. It costs 1 or less. It's Imperial. On the flip side, each capital ship unit costs 2 or less. The potential for this is pretty busted. In testing, all right, I've seen this go off and do disgusting things. There's a lot of capital ships in this set, and a lot of great ships that were printed beforehand. Nice stats, and it's also Imperial. 5 out of 5. This is going to be a very powerful leaders, and the more capital ships they print, the better this is going to be. Yeah, a lot of potential here. How I see right now the aspect leaders, this is going to help Grand Moff Tarkin because they're going to print more Imperial units. I can see this replacing Watan Bor. Um, right now is on the short list to be replaced, so we'll see what the other leader that comes out. But for now, yeah, definitely there's room to improve in these leaders, and so Piet's definitely going to be in the cube. All right, let's look at Wedge. Wedge has an action ability: play a card from your hand using piloting, and it costs 1 or less. Um, it's a rebel, which is really important. And on the flip side, 3/6 for 5. Attach unit is a leader unit, and it gains on attack. The next pilot card you play this phase costs 1 or less. Yeah, vehicles. There's a lot of great units out there right now with piloting. Doesn't cost anything to use as action. Yeah, I think a lot of potential here. I've always kind of just complained that Heroism Command don't have really strong leaders, and I was just excited to see Wedge and finally going to be able to take some of the leaders that are kind of lackluster right now, and being able to replace one of them. The next one that was, I give it a 4 out of 5. The next one that was revealed there was Admiral Holdo. Honestly, give a resistance unit or a unit with a resistance upgrade on it, +2/+2 for the phase. Just not impressed. I think there's going to be a lot of resistance units, but there's going to be a lot of them that are just good on their own. And I'm not looking to add another trait that I need to worry about. I think having like the Padme, and having so many few Republic units, and now another trait to worry about with his resistance. I think I'd rather just kind of scale back and kind of just continue to feed into the Rebel trait. And I think it's just going to be very difficult to put this in and work this in. Has the same thing for her flip side. She is a big booty. She has 8 defense, which is nothing to scold about. But for now, I just see it as a 2 out of 5, and not something that I'm going to want to put in my cube. Like I said, lackluster leaders. Leia, I'm impressed with as always. The more rebels come out, the better she gets. Boba Fett's really good, but Hera and Captain Rex are ones that I've been wanting to replace for a long time, and I know that um, Wedge is going to easily just replace one of them. Probably Rex, I think. Looking at a Boba Fett, the return. Of course, another Boba Fett. Keep him coming. One of my favorite leaders of all time. Has pilot himself, but he has this cool ability that when you deal non-combat damage, you can exhaust this leader, and if you do, you deal 1 indirect damage to a player. I've seen some really neat units that were released for this, and yeah, it does also have a really nice um pilot ability, which you can deal up to 4 damage divided as you choose. So I think like in cube, the ability to remove other units and deal damage is pretty important, pretty strong. Has great colors and great stats. So I think, yeah, this is one that easily will fit into the cube. 4 out of 5. Um, Captain Phasma was another one that was released. If you played a first order card this phase, deal 1 damage to a base. So aggressive, a trooper, and meaning more first order units will come out. On the flip side, she's a 4/6 for 5. On attack, if you played another first order card this phase, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. And if you do, you deal 1 damage to a base. So pretty good and pretty strong ability. Yeah, very excited for Captain Phasma. 4 out of 5. How I see it now is, Kylo Ren's going to get better. The more first order cards they have, easily it's going to boost Kylo and Captain Phasma as well. I had IG 88, but this is easily replaceable now with Captain Phasma. And I'm trying to see if there's going to be another Vader out there, either leader. So for now, he stays in, and Bosk has been pretty impressive. Bounties are great, but just being able to double bounty claim is always going to be super strong. Okay, we got Rio, one of my favorite characters from the Solo movies. Really cool ability here. For one, you attack with a space unit and it gets +1 and gains Saboteur, which is pretty awesome. And has a pilot ability that basically you can attach to a vehicle, becomes a leader. And of course, it gains Saboteur, and if it transport, it gets +10. So you can put this on a transport vehicle and make it already a big stat of 3/5. It's going to be very hard to take down. Plus, you're giving it +1 if it's a transport. So a lot of potential for Rio. I do see it being a 3.5 out of 5. Not that it's bad. It's just has a lot to compete with. Um, I know that these leaders do a lot of things together. Boba Fett, Cad Bane, Django, all kind of use a lot of cards that would be really great and usable in each leader. Um, the weakest one that I see here is Thrawn as being something to be replaced. There's also, of course, how powerful do you want to keep your cube? Is it fair to have Boba there? The From the first set, I'm all for like having powerful cubes and doing the most broken thing you can do. So for now, of course, I'm keeping it because it's also one of my favorite characters of all time. So yeah, short list to be replaced. Thrawn. Excited to see what other leaders um, will be released for cunning and villainy. All right, Admiral Akbar, Rebel, action, exhaust a non-leader unit, and if you do, its controller creates an X-Wing token. I'm just not particularly a fan of this card. Yes, to tap down something kind of feels like if you were kind of just Thrawn, basically, right? Um, Paying 1, looking at the top card, exhausting something. Except now there's some tokens there. I don't think I'm going to put this in the cube. 2 out of 5. It's great for the character, but not something that, is very strong. But Han Solo, never tell me the odds. Reveal the top card of your deck, then attack with a unit. If the reveal card and that unit have different odd costs, that unit gets +1 for this attack. It's a rebel. Busted card. Tested with it, seen how this is used with all these piloting vehicles. Very, very strong. And of course, when it deploys, for each friendly unit or upgrade that has an odd cost, ready a resource. You have the ability to like put a lot of upgrades on units, flip. You've already used your resources. You untap and just do more broken things. This has the ability to be one of the strongest leaders out there. Comparable to his from set one as well too. Very, very strong. Yeah, 5 out of 5. Definitely will be in the cube. Um, Yeah, I mean Quinlan's always strong because it's a force unit, but Jyn Erso's definitely on the short list to be replaced. And Fennec's been pretty good for aggressive decks, so that's kind of how I see it so far. Well, that has been part one of this review. Looking forward to talking about more leaders that come out, as spoilers come out. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, as well as I'll leave a link below on a new spreadsheet that was created there. It's more clear and visible. You can kind of see like what my current cube card list is, as well as please don't forget to join the Discord, the Bothan Network Discord. We have a lot of things going on there, and looking forward to putting out more content. And yeah, talk to you guys later.